Now we can drill these to size, the through holes. So I'm going to hit the drill. I'm going to choose copy previous points, and then I'll reverse the order and check. Actually, that doesn't matter because we're on a UMC, so the spindle's actually going to go over to the tool change position instead of just going straight up like a vertical mill. So let's see, that is 9/64 drill. I'll go ahead and use 85 surface speed, 2.5 chip load. I'll leave it on a pec drill. For my linking parameters, it's going to be there. And I'll go with some breakthrough. I'll say 50 thousandths breakthrough. Green check. Alright. And then I'll come back. Same thing. Now I'll use the countersink. Half-inch countersink, 100 degrees. Okay. For this one, I'm going to use a spot drill, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a dwell. 2 seconds. So let's see, linking parameters. I'm going to go back to absolute. I'm going to select the top here. Okay, and then I'm going to hit the calculator button. So my finished diameter needs to be the 285 from the print. So 0.285. Alright. 0 tip on the countersink. And then let's see. To add to depth. So green check. Oops. Okay. And then no tip comp. So let's see what that does. Go ahead and back plot. So it looks like it's cutting a little extra there, right? So that's because the model is the 2785, which is a little bit smaller than what we told it to do, but we're going off the print, so that looks good. So green check that. And then go back to the other hole here. Drill that one. So it'll be our number 2 drill. Back to a peg drill, no dwell, and linking, and we'll add tip comp back in so it'll break through. Alright, holes are drilled. Time to save, and we can even do a verify real quick. that? It's telling us we still gotta finish that chamfer there. Alright, everything looks pretty good though. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is do this little flat right here. So I'm going to need some geometry. So I'm going to go to wireframe. I'm going to go to curve one edge. I'm going to pick this guy here. Same one over here. Green check. And then I'm going to extend it towards the vise 200. Just like I did everything else. So if I go to modify length, lengthen 0.2, and then click on the wireframe entity on the side that I want to extend. So right there, and right there. Then I'm going to draw a line to connect the two. So line endpoints, click that one, click that one, and check. Then I'll come in with a contour. Just like that. Go ahead and use that 3/8 bull nose because we still have the radius we got to deal with. Alright, speeds and feeds, and then cut parameters. I don't want to leave any stock on the walls. Don't need depth cuts. Lead in, lead out. I'm going to go back to normal. 40, 40, and 60. And then I'm going to do some multi-passes. Going to be 5 passes, 80 thousandths. Do not need a spring pass. I'm not finishing any walls there. Alright, linking. It's right there. Top of stock. Doesn't really matter. We're not doing depth cuts, so. Alright, let me check. Oh, see that? Go ahead, pause the video, see if you can figure out why it's doing that. Okay, I'm going to tell you why now. Remember when we had the flat over here and we changed it to right compensation? See that? We need to switch it back to left compensation since we're trying to stay on the inside of this geometry. So green check, regenerates, and there we go. Now it's on the right spot. Alright. Save that. Now we can get into some deburring. Right, let's work on some deburring here. Go ahead and create a new toolpath group. Okay, and let's see where we're at. First thing I'm going to start with is this hole here. So I'm going to go toolpath, contour, solid selection. Okay, just like that. And check. Tool is going to be my 1/4 inch chamfer mill. Tool 6. Parameters. So since the chamfer's modeled, we actually don't even have to really worry about the size, right? If we do 2D chamfer, then we need to know the chamfer width, so we could measure that and we could do it that way, or we could just go with off compensation and then stock to leave on walls. We could go 25, and then we want a small lead in, lead out, 10, 10, let's say 90, and then no multi-passes, and the linking parameters, depth is going to be right there, minus 0.025. Alright. All that looks good. Green check. And that looks nice. Let's do a little back plot. Alright. Cutting nicely. So now go ahead and get these inside edges of the pocket, then start working on the outside. Alright, so contour, let's go like that. And I'm just gonna link it around like that, and I'm going to stop right there. So I'm going to grab that little corner also. I don't really want to try to get into this area here because it's so small. So there's that. So green check that. Same tool, same speed and feed. And now we're going to change to computer compensation with 3D. Oh, so we have to change our planes. That's angled face, right? So planes, that should be a 2D chamfer. So angled face should be our tool plane and construction plane, and then we'll do a 2D chamfer. Chamfer width, I'm going to do 6/1000ths, and my bottom offset, I'm going to do, let's see, I'll just try 20, see what that looks like. Stock to leave on wall should be 0. Let's see, lead in, lead out. Looks fine. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, so let's see, linking should be incremental 0. Can check. So we'll do a little back plot, let's see. Trying to look over here just to make sure that it's not going to gouge any of this material here. So hit the play button, play with the speed to speed it up a little bit. next thing I want to hit is this little edge right here. So I'll do another contour. And yeah, we'll just do both like that. Check. Same tool. Same cut parameters. Do a 3D chamfer. See how that works out, just because these two surfaces, right, they're not on the same plane, so now it's fine. Incremental 0 on the depth. And check. Okay, looks alright. Let's see. Make sure we don't hit anything we don't want to hit. Looks good. Okay. I think I will, since that's a 3D chamfer, incremental 0, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to click on the geometry for that, and I'm going to add another single edge, this one here. Green check. I think maybe I'll reorder them. Drag number 2 above number 1. So green check. So that way it'll go from this one to here and then to here, instead of from here over here and then back to here. Just a little more efficient. So let's see what that looks like. Nope, can't do that. Okay, so go ahead and delete that out of there. We can still do most of that edge, we're just going to have to shorten it up a little bit. So I'll just create another toolpath. So contour, single edge, like that. Alright, same tool, cut parameters, 2D chamfer, lead in, lead out, and then I'm going to go adjust, shorten, 15%, and shorten the lead out as well. Incremental 0 for the linking. Check. Looks like we're clear now. We're not hitting. Okay. Check that. Do a little save real quick. Alright, so let's start getting into some fun stuff here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my planes, I'm going to change it back to B0C0 and hit the equal sign to put everything on the B0C0, the WCS, the C, and the T. I'm going to do a right click top. We're going to do some multi-axis toolpaths here, and with the multi-axis you don't need to specify the planes like we do for the 3+2 stuff. So we're going to use the deburring toolpath. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the edges of these slots, right? So you see how part of the edge of that slot follows the curve there, right? So we're going to use a ball end mill, and it's going to do some cool stuff and put a nice even edge break on those edges. So deburr tool is going to be tool number 20, our 1/8 ball end mill. I'm going to go 251, and I'll say 10 for that. Let's see, somebody expands cut pattern. All right, so these multi-axis toolpaths are a little bit different. So what we want to do is first we want to select the entire model, and then we'll specify which edges we want to focus on. So in the machining geometries, that's where we pick the model. So we'll hit the mouse pointer. Alright, and so what we want to do is we want to triple click the model. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oops, 1, 2, 3. Like that. So triple click the model, should see the whole thing turn yellow, and hit the end selection. 94 entities is correct. Okay, and then edge definition, we want to do user defined, and then user defined edges. I'll click on that, and I'm going to do the single edge thing. I'm going to start on here. And then I'm going to use the little button to follow the slot around, just like that. And then I'll do the same thing for this other slot right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Green check. Okay, so I got my edges. So the size, my size of my chamfer that I want, or my edge break, I'm going to go again with 6 thousandths. Okay, for my cut tolerance, I'm going to change it to 2/10. Advanced edge options, 15 is good right there. Tool axis control, so I'm going to hit the drop down here. I'm going to do 5 axis simultaneous, and for the strategy, I'm going to do normal to contour. If you go back to cut pattern, you see it changed your options just a little bit, so that's what it should look like right there. So back to tool axis control. Let's see, I think that's all good right there. Yep, that's all good. So linking, let's see, good there. My lead in, lead out, do that a little smaller for the lead in. It'll give us a nice even lead in, lead out. Let's see, feed rate control we don't need to mess with. Miscellaneous we don't need to mess with. Additional settings, so again, make sure your planes are all B0 C0, and then coolant should be on M8, and green check, and you can see we got one there with the back plot. Okay. Hide that tool path, and then we'll start working on these edges over here. Alright, so let's see. Hide that. Let's do another one. Deburr. Alright, all this is going to be the same. Cut pattern. So let's go ahead and triple click that model again. get the right speed there. Alright, so once it's all yellow, then you know you triple clicked it correctly. Alright, so user defined edges. So I'm going to start over here. Follow it around. Oops. Go back. Actually, yeah, let's restart that. So I'm gonna hit the red slash. I'm gonna start with this edge and go all the way around like that. Let's see what that does. Alright, I'm gonna leave this stuff the same and that as well. Not gonna change any of that right now. Check, see what happens there. It's kind of weird. Starting way up there. Doing some fun stuff there. Cool. We're gonna have to watch these things pretty close in the machine though, because we haven't really tried these toolpaths before. At least as of spring 24. So, alright, let's do this other side now. Same thing. First time that time. Go like this, like that, like that. Just see what that does. So looks good on the screen, but again, we'll have to see what the machine actually does. Alright, so start getting these going over the radius now. Do another one. Now I'm going to come over here and do these edges. it's coming in at such a crazy angle. Let's see what that does. Looks a little less crazy. About the same. I'll go ahead and leave it like that. So I did 5-axis simultaneous fixed to main axis, Z-axis. Give that a save real quick. So now it's time to tab it off. Go ahead and create a new toolpath group. Here I need to do this little kind of half slot here, and then the final tabbing. So let's go with so I want B0C0 with the WCS, and I want B90C90 to C and the T. Contour. Start right there. Like that. Recheck. Tool is going to be my, let's see, 1/8 end mill, 1/4 inch shank. This one here. Let's see. Let's double check real quick. Yep, that's the one. It's on a 1/4 inch shank, so we can stick it out a little further and it's still rigid. Alright. So I'm gonna go a little bit slower. Rate's going to be 5. We are going to be plunging into material over here, so I want to go nice and slow on that. Probably go with 1,000th here. Alright, and it's going to be wear comp 2D. I'm going to go with depth cuts. I'm going to go with 20,000th depth cut and a finish of 5. I'm not going to do a curved lead in, lead out. I'm just going to extend, adjust the start of the contour. And I'm going to do, let's see, 60%. Should be good. I'll start the tool just off the side of the part. spacing is going to be 5 thousandths. Finish pass at all depths. Now finish pass at final depth. One. So one rough, one finish at 5 thousandths at the final depth. Alright, linking parameters. Top of stock is right there. Depth is down there. Let's change it to absolute. Alright, sorry, top of stock, 1875. Alright, check that. Let's see. Oops. What happened there? I think I had a... Yeah, I did shorten instead of extend. That's not going to work. I'm going to extend 60%, not shorten. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. Good. Alright, let's hide that. Save it real quick. I'm just going to do a verify. See what we got left. For the final thickness on the tab, and we'll be good. Alright, so I'm going to bring the material right over here down to the same depth that I just did right there. So I'll go with another contour, single edge, choose that one, green check, same tool. Same depth cuts, same. I don't need a finish pass here on the floor because there's no floor that I'm leaving. I think that should be good for lead in, lead out. So, top of stock, there, depth, right there. Check. Alright. Go a little deeper on the depth cuts. Now we're going to flip it over, work on our final pass. So I'm going to switch my construction tool plane to the C270. Like that. And then I'm going to take the two ends down to the same level as the step right there. Contour, single edge, so that one and that one. Alright, tool should be the same. All this is the same. Linking parameters. Top stock right there. Depth right there. Green check. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and hide that. And then, alright, so my last toolpath. To leave a tab. I'm going to go back to wireframe. I need something that goes all the way across. So I'm going to use this one we created earlier. Oops. Single, not loop. Just like that. Make sure that goes across the whole part. Yeah, it does. Great check. Tool. That's good. No depth cuts. This will be our last cut. Alright, linking parameters. So, depth. So this right here is the bottom of the slot from the other side. So if I was to go that deep, it would completely cut it off. So I don't want to do that, right? So that's minus 0.625. And I'm going to add 10 thousandths to that. So my tab is going to be 10 thousandths thick. Alright, so I think that should be good. Sometimes you might have to adjust that a little thicker, a little thinner, depending on the size of your part and how heavy it is and that sort of thing. Okay, so there's that. Green check. Save it, and let's do a final verify. That's that. So save that. And good luck.